What's going on, guys? It's Cal here from Buffalo SportsCenter, and today we will be previewing the big matchup this Sunday, the Tennessee Titans coming into Buffalo to face the Bills. Finally a home game, finally a 1 o'clock game. The Bills will be at home taking on the Titans. So let's start off by recapping that Monday night victory by the Bills over the Jets, because boy oh boy, that was an interesting game. Penalties galore. That game had the most penalties so far in the NFL season. And by watching that game, you could definitely believe it, because it seemed every other play had a flag being thrown. Now, again, I'm not going to complain because we won, but there were definitely some ticky-tacky calls. The roughing the passer and A.J. Epinesa that even Aaron Rodgers himself called a bogus call. There were some other ones you could point out, but hey, at least both teams were getting called pretty equally on, pretty weak penalties. And that crew also with Adrian Hill called the most holdings and defensive and offensive pass interference calls. So, knowing that going into the game, I still didn't expect that many calls, but it is what it is. Josh Allen continues to be Josh Allen, right? Just magical play after magical play. Two plays I want to highlight was obviously the Ray Davis, 40-yard pass or something like that, where Allen just does his newfound thing where he scrambles around for a little bit, rushes towards the sidelines, and then just chucks the ball right before he's about to go out of bounds, cross-body. Again, one of the only quarterbacks that's going to be able to do that with his arm. Just a great throw, and, Ray Davis, he came down with it. It didn't look good at first, but he came down with it. Second play, I wanted to highlight the Knox touchdown. This guy, Josh Allen, ran through Deion Dawkins and the guy he was blocking, right through him. I've never seen something like it. Again, it wasn't highlighted too much on the broadcast, and watching it live, I didn't even realize it. But yeah, just right through there. That's just incredible. Then goes over and throws the touchdown to Knox. So yeah, just an absolute insane game from Josh Allen. The stat sheet, it may not look as good as some other games, but man, Josh continues to do it by himself because this team needs a new wide receiver, okay? Shakir was out there. Again, he's hurt, but he only made a couple plays. Mac Hollins had a touchdown but dropped a touchdown. MVS doesn't get open. Keon Coleman finally got in the mix a little bit, but again, they don't use him enough. Curtis Samuel had one big play. Other than that, didn't do too much. Let's talk about the ground game, though, because James Cook was out. Ray Davis Jr. looked absolutely incredible. Give that guy the ball more. I don't care if James Cook comes back. I want an even split because both those guys have looked really good so far this season. Ty Johnson was in there a little bit, but I'm not really going to mention him too much because he only got a couple touches early on in the game and then came in for more pass blocking. And then let's talk about Tyler Bass because, again, I've been saying it since the middle of last season. Tyler Bass has got to go. And it has nothing to do with the game last night. It has nothing to do with anything this season. He just has lost his mojo. He's lost his confidence. You could tell that from the middle of last season, and that's when I said it was time to move on. You got to find someone. Now, you could make the argument there's no one out there to sign, but when I see college kickers consistently hitting 60-yarders, I see the Lions go pick up somebody from the UFL, and he literally does not miss a field goal no matter where it is on the field. You cannot keep it rolling with Tyler Bass. Don't get me wrong, I like Tyler Bass. I like him as a guy, but man, oh man, as a football player, he is beyond gone with this team. I think he needs a fresh start somewhere. I think he could be a very good kicker with a different team. But right now here in Buffalo, he has just lost all of his confidence, and it is time for Tyler Bass to go. That being said, let's switch over to the Titans side of things. The Titans have not looked good this year at all. Last week, they were in the mix to get a win with the Colts, but they ended up losing 20-17. Will Levis had 97 pass yards, a touchdown, and a pick. He has been brutal this season. I know it's funny for, NFL fans to pick out the Will Levis clip of the game where he's, laying down on the field after an interception or something. It's funny, but honestly, man, the way Rudolph played behind him, I think Will Levis is really skating on thin ice here. And, he'll probably start against the Bills, but I don't know for how much. Pollard had a huge day rushing for them, though, 93 yards and a touchdown. D-Hop, 54 yards from the air on 4 receptions. Again, he's going to be their main target throughout this entire game. And, D-Hop, one of those guys who could have came to Buffalo, but, chose the money in Tennessee. Hasn't really panned out too much because Tennessee is just, really bad so far. And, of course, Tennessee also lost their running back in Henry there as well. And then the biggest thing I want to highlight from last week with the Titans is they were 4 for 11 on third down. So the Bills can definitely exploit this problem. Just get this team to third down, right? They only have that one big weapon in D-Hop out wide, and Will Levis just has not been good enough. The Titans defense ranks in the middle of the league, so again, it's not great, but it's also not terrible. It's kind of towards the bottom of that middle pack, but I'm not going to say it's a bad defense. It's a solid defense, and the way the Bills are playing offensively, they're going to need this defense to have a bad day to put up big points. So with that being said, let's take a look at what our BSC panel has predicted for this game.
At the Tennessee 11, it's the opening drive for the Buffalo Bills. Allen off the play fake. Gives it to Gilliam, the fullback. Trying to make some people miss. Down the sideline, end zone, touchdown Buffalo. It's Reggie Gilliam, the fullback, for the score.